Any person in your social network can potentially become an advocate. And one of the most powerful ways to create an advocate is to work with a person in your social network for multiple iterations. This allows them to provide you feedback. And when you incorporate that feedback, they are operating in a mentor modality. You are operating in a mentee modality. You're creating a more potent social network between yourselves, and you're equipping the person acting as mentor to act as an advocate with ammo. So just getting someone who wants to help you is great, but often they need ammo so that they can make a case more powerfully to the group that they're talking to. So if I am talking to people at my company, I'm like, hey, I recommend Sarah. They're going to ask the question why, and I need to have an answer. Many times, if I don't have the ammo to give an answer, I just won't even recommend Sarah. Does that make sense? And you don't need to do a lot here. So when I think about the bare minimum of what can I advocate for, it's going to be following job search fundamentals. If you're not even operating the job search well, why do I think you're going to do well in the interview? If you're not even doing well in the interview, why do I think you're going to do better on the job? Ideally, you can check all three boxes, but the bare minimum is follow the common best practice advice around optimizing your resume, LinkedIn, and portfolio, okay? And so don't underrate these three tasks. They seem so easy, but the truth is just following through on the basics, only a fraction of people do this. So I'm running a job search cohort. This is the most senior cohort that I've worked with. We have people with over 20 years of experience in this cohort. And there are common pitfalls. Like at this many years of experience, you have like a really long resume, but we know from resume best practices that you want to try to have a 2-page resume. So really just being able to incorporate that feedback sets you apart from over 80% of the market, just doing these sort of like bare minimum things. Being coachable is a win-win on the job search. Not only are you equipping an advocate with ammo so that they can really do a really good job of converting you over to an interview because they can make a good case internally, you're also getting free practice. You're getting free behavioral interview prep just by having a conversation, a coffee chat with someone. And they're going to ask you, what are you passionate about? What are you looking for? These mundane, typical questions. You would be surprised how many people fumble these basic questions. And they're the same questions that you're going to get asked commonly in a tech recruiter screen. And then also very often again in a hiring manager round or a behavioral round. So being able to shine on these basics is a win-win for the person who wants to empower you. You're giving them knowledge. I know this guy's like passionate around the mission at our company. That's why I think he would be a great, person we should interview. It's going to be good for them and it's good for you. And so that's another reason that being coachable in this like job search network process is really advantageous to you. And then I also want to finish up by giving you the 3 most common resume mistakes that I saw. So the first resume mistake that I see is that the resume is not parsable by an ATS. So if you have a bunch of years of experience, but when you upload your resume, whatever scanner they're using can't detect your years of experience, it registers on their side as 0 years of experience, okay? I also see this with education. If the formatting is off, then they might think that you don't have any education. And so a real pitfall that I see here is people going for resumes that look cool, but they've never tried to have it parsed by an ATS. Okay, so a parsable resume, number 1. Number 2 is that they don't have basic contact information. So email, LinkedIn URL, portfolio URL. Those basics, I had a person with like more than 10 years of experience didn't have his email on his resume. You don't need the phone number, but the other stuff is table stakes. You need it. And the third mistake is missing impact metrics or underrepresented impact. And so the ballparking blog article at laterally.io can help you with this. You can see immediately how improving your resume to include those metrics, it's not just a resume thing. It's going to improve the stories that you tell, which will bleed into your recruiter screens, your hiring manager rounds, and your behavioral rounds. Hope this helped. Follow for more.